No one knew what led these two young teenage brothers to massacre their entire family of 5. Robert and Michael Bever were both born in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, to a very strange and troubled family. Growing up, they were homeschooled and isolated from the entire world. Their parents were known to be very physically and mentally abusive towards them, and they were often brutally beat. Neighbors always thought the brothers and the family were strange, but they never thought that things to this measure could possibly happen. One day, Robert and Michael were fed up. This would lead them to creating an evil plot to massacre their entire family and create one of their own. But they weren't going to stop there. The two boys also planned on going on a killing spree to take over 500 lives, but thankfully, that never happened. Sadly, on July 15, 2015, Michael and Robert were both at home with their parents, 3 sisters, and 2 brothers. Around 11 p.m., Robert and Michael would enter their parents' room while they were still asleep. They would then walk up to them, stand over them, and equally stab them over 100 times. 13-year-old Crystal Bever was the next victim. Michael would call her into his room to distract her. He would show her something on his computer while Robert walked up behind her and brutally slit her throat. Thankfully, she would fight back, but Robert would stab her a few more times before she was able to flee and exit the home. Their next victims were their 2 younger brothers, who had locked themselves in the bathroom. Michael would trick them in order to get them to open the bathroom door, and when they did, he would go in and brutally stab them to death. Their last victim was their 12-year-old brother Daniel. He was hiding in his father's office and called 911. Michael somehow managed to trick him into opening the door, and when he did, him and Robert would come in, smash the phone, and stab him over 21 times. The 2 brothers would then flee the scene and hide into some nearby woods behind the home. When police arrived, thankfully their 12-year-old sister Crystal had survived, so she was able to point them out as the suspects before she collapsed. With the help of K-9 units, police were able to apprehend both brothers hiding in the woods hours later. They were both arrested and charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder. Robert and Michael Bever will now spend the remainder of their lives in prison.